In 2387, an incident created a quantum rift between our universe and this one. A Romulan ship accidentally traveled here through a singularity. They found themselves in 2233 and later destroyed the USS Kelvin in battle. This caused their timeline to differ from ours. As a result, we now refer to it as the Kelvin timeline. We believe the sphere builders communicate with their operatives through the rift. Yes, in our timeline, they used the Xindi as a proxy force. I suspect they're doing the same thing here with the Klingon. I'm reading multiple spheres under construction in this sector, as well as the wreckage of spheres. I suspect the local forces are trying to prevent an expanse from being formed. This sphere isn't active yet. We need to neutralize it before the builders can create an expanse.
Starfleet Command, this is the USS Yorktown. We are under attack and require...
I do hope you've come to fight, Patok. If not, you may whimper and wait for my blade at your throat.
Life signs on Yorktown's bridge.
Unidentified vessel. This is the USS Yorktown. We are under attack by Klingon boarding parties. Can you provide assistance? Over here. Greetings. I am Science Officer 0718. Thank you for your very timely assistance. Could you see to Admiral Garrett's medical needs? I am currently interfacing with your crew and the Yorktown's engineering systems to prevent a critical...
Thanks. I'm not sure which Starfleet you're in exactly, but I'm guessing you won't mind
Thanks. I hope you're here to deal with these...
Thank you. Oh, my head's still...
thought we were finished. The Klingons weren't interested in taking prisoners.
We could use some help putting out these fires! Come over here after you've put out the last fire. Over here! Alright. We were about to begin sabotage operations on the sphere when the Klingons came to call. As you can see, Yorktown and her crew are in rough shape. But that thing needs to be neutralized. And I count on you and your crew to help us finish the job. Glad to hear it. We've got explosives ready to go. But we'll need to find a proper infiltration point on the sphere. Work with my science officer to make that happen.
Use the starboard console. Together we can triangulate our scanners. Admiral Garrett, I believe we found a suitable location. I have reviewed your proposed infiltration coordinates. They are tactically sound. We can commence operations at your command. Be advised. In previous encounters on board spheres, the occupants have been quick to mobilize their defense forces. Expect heavy opposition.
I'll stay on the Yorktown to assist Admiral Garrett and his crew. We'll monitor your progress from the bridge and provide tactical updates as we can.
Commander! Kill those intruders!
To date, the most effective Starfleet tactic has been to trigger a critical series of detonations within their power suite. Such disruptions have resulted in destruction of a sphere.
Experiment 267.
Receiving data. I had no idea the sphere builders were involved in so many alternate realities.
I was part of the team that devised the sphere neutralization tactics.
Experiment 3331. The Expanse grew at an acceptable rate until it was discovered by the Iconian Dominion Alliance. After intense resistance, we were able to decimate their core systems with targeted micro-expanses. But their desperation assault in subspace led to a complete entropic breakdown and, ultimately, universal disruption. Galactic habitable spaces, 0. Life signs, indeterminate. Project terminated.
This data. They've exterminated entire galaxies with their experiments.
It seems your alliance with the Klingons has been profitable, builders.
It has. Like the Zindi, they are eager for conquest.
However, the technology you have provided destroys as well as creates.
The Resistance has been disruptive to our progress. Your promises appear thin, Envoy.
I assure you, all is going according to plan. Nothing they will do will keep us from our goals.
And yet, I see a familiar disruption has presented itself again.
A minor nuisance. I suggest letting your Klingons do what they do best.
I will deal with this disruption. It's time you learned that you cannot prevail, intruder. You will fall to ruin. You! I have had enough of you! The Tutarians were a peaceful race until your misbegotten alliance committed an act of genocide. We were all but annihilated. Only a scant few of us escaped to safety, lost and forgotten within a dimensional void. The Envoy has given us the means to manipulate events. We had begun to undo the damage you have done to us. Quantum realms such as this are ours to study without risk to our own. And should this realm unravel, there is an infinite number of realms remaining to us. Yes, just as you were willing to do so to achieve your goals, do not presume to judge me, murderer! The Expanse Protocol will wipe you from existence, and with your passing, bring justice to my people at
Something is happening. The sphere is emitting a high level of thermobaric radiation. We must complete our objective at once. finished working on the sphere network. Prepare the final charge for detonation. Final charge deployed.
Experiment 4472. Projections indicate increased habitable living area and expanse growth rate. Early estimates suggest a 500% increase. Local resistance, primarily from this realm's version of the Federation, has been crude but effective. Deploying Klingon proxy forces at key sphere deployments should alleviate this concern.
The latest data is local. It corresponds to this universe's quantum signature. Sphere builder ships, inbound.
We are being jammed. We're going to need to recover. The sphere is jamming our transmission. We're going to need to use our signal to activate the explosives. The thermobaric gas is creating an unusual level of interference, attempting to boost our comm signal to compensate. Recalibration complete. I have established a link to the charges on the sphere, ready to activate on your command. Detonation's complete. The sphere is neutralized.
Nice work over there.
It was rough for a moment, but you both... What the... I'll see you back on the ship, sir.
Most curious. I believe that wound occurred due to a temporal shift. Something has happened elsewhere. A question for another time, perhaps.
In the end, you came through for us. On behalf of Starfleet and the Yorktown crew, thanks.
Indeed. Safe travels to you and your crew.
The envoy's been busy since our last meeting. I think we can add the Sphere Builders to our list of known TLF associates and members after this encounter. The Builders are no strangers to temporal war. Their experience could tip the balance of power against us. Fortunately, their ability to operate in our dimension is extremely limited. For now. Some time ago, there was a temporal disruption involving the USS Enterprise C. We thought the matter was fully resolved, but there was an oversight. We need to find one of the Enterprise C survivors, a temporal duplicate of Starfleet Admiral Tanay. Until we reconcile her displacement, the timeline is in jeopardy. There's one person in particular that can provide the location of the survivors, Sela of Romulus. We believe she's operating in the Cytor system. Meet me there to search for Sela and enlist her aid. Stay safe out there. If she's here, we'll need to draw her out. Sela's not easily found if she doesn't want to be. In the meantime, there's a structure on one of the larger asteroids, but the mineral content there is making long-range scanning difficult. I recommend we take a closer look. Our intel shows a lot of Romulan activity in this system, in Sela's name. Command believes she's planning an assault of some kind and gathering tactical resources. This looks like an abandoned Tal Shiar base. What's left of one. It looks like the interior has been stripped of anything useful over an extended period of time. This could be the work of Sela's forces. They've been... Wait! Picking up enemy contacts. Romulan ships decloaking. Those ships were older, but battle-ready and in good repair. It's unusual for them to run so quickly. We should stay sharp. There's probably more of them out there waiting under cloak. In the meantime, we damage their propulsion systems in the fight. They're leaking plasma. As long as they keep leaking plasma, we can follow their trail. They're not trying to lose us. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Unidentified ship, you are trespassing in sovereign Romulan space, and you are outnumbered. Surrender now. Oh, it's you again. No. You are still trespassing in my space, and I could use a new ship for my armada. Fine, we'll talk. Cut to the chase and tell me what it is you want. Ah, I'd wondered when you'd get around to looking for the Enterprise C survivors. When the Enterprise C survivors were taken, my father agreed to let the rest of the crew live, so long as Lieutenant Yar served as his concubine. She was executed, but my father held to his word. I am aware of their location, but I will only take you there if you agree to bring me with you. And what assurances do I have that I won't simply be executed? I will not agree to my death. If I agree to this, I will be held in house arrest, somewhere reasonably pleasant by my own standards. I will not be cut off from access to the outside world, and I will not be given any sort of death penalty. Further, you will... The survivors of the Enterprise C were sent to a Tal Shiar prison world. Set a course for the Pictet system. I shall make my way to the bridge of this... quaint little ship.
I'm reading several Tholian ships on sensors, along with some unusual temporal fluctuations. Tholians dislike anything involving time travel. We should be cautious. If they think we're responsible, they may become hostile.
This is the Pictet system, one of many worlds where the Tal Shiar would send assets important enough to keep, but not threatening enough to kill. Supplies to this world stopped when Hobus was destroyed. But the Enterprise C crew are proven survivors. I admit the Tholians being here is new. Surely they won't be too difficult for you to handle.
Do not intrude. The anomaly will be eradicated. Leave now
Corellians were performing a detailed scan on that anomaly. Something caused it to destabilize quickly. Not a good sign. Another temporal anomaly. It was emitting high levels of tachyon radiation and chronotons before it dispersed. I'll need more data, but I think it was an unstable gateway into transdimensional space.
Scan 1. I want to see what they were so interested in.
Based on these readings, I believe I've found an origin point for these anomalies. They're coming from the planet below. I suggest sending an away team down to collect data.
Ship is under attack. Detecting signs of habitation, but there's a lot of temporal disturbances down there.
They're making it hard to obtain a clear reading at this distance.
Assemble your most able crewmen and... My apologies. This is your ship. You give the orders.
We've beamed down into an open courtyard within what's left of the Tal Shiar prison. Doesn't look like it's been inhabited for some time. I'm reading a number of temporal anomalies nearby, but my tricorder's having trouble analyzing the data. We're going to need to get closer.
The shipments of supplies stopped long ago. Anyone alive down here will have a hard time. I suppose that is what this is about, isn't it? There are 2 of her and no one else. If you find her, this world was abandoned by the Tal Shiar decades ago. I doubt there's anyone left. The survivors of the Enterprise C might have left personal items behind.
This datapad dates back to the late 23rd century. It lacks power, but it should work once it's recharged. This place hasn't been inhabited for a while. Thing is, the tricorder's giving a range of time from 3 months to 30 years. We're dealing with some serious temporal flux here. That's one of the temporal anomalies. I wouldn't recommend entering its area of effect. From what I'm reading here, contact with the anomaly will do considerable damage to anything organic. That being said, I believe we can deal with this. Stand over there, and between the 2 of us, we should be able to nullify the anomaly. Someone's been here recently. The tricorder's picking up numerous signs of habitation in the area. By the look of things, someone stripped this area of all useful items and moved on. This gate appears to have been locked from the outside. Perhaps they knew about the anomaly but didn't have the means to handle it. There's a manual override. When we disrupted this anomaly, it seemed to fracture, forcing more anomalies into our timeline. I think we might be able to use that to our benefit, though. I'll stay here and act as an anchor. Find the best spot and use your tricorder to emit the dispersal pattern again. We should be able to push those bubbles away from the gate controls. If you get stuck, I'll be able to get you out of trouble. The gate controls are trapped within an anomaly. We'll have to disperse it to use them. Time is a tricky thing. Moving one anomaly will likely have a cascading effect on others. We might need to do... Looks like some of the closed gateways are rusted now. Find another spot. I can see a clear path to the controls. The gate's open. Try to disperse where you are. It should open an escape path for you. Excellent. The gate's open, and we can continue our search for Tanae. Well done. Before we move on, I've managed to bring the datapad online again. It might contain clues on what happened. Looks like it's a personal unit. The primary user is Lieutenant Tasha Yar of Starfleet.
Give me that! The first entry dates to 2389, nearly 40 years after she was executed. Or at least 40 years after she was supposed to have been executed. I am Natasha Yar, Security Chief for the Federation Starship Enterprise D. Well, at least that's who I was. For the past 40 years, I've been Tal Shiar Prisoner 24601. But even that changed a week ago. Our regular supply drops from the Star Empire stopped 3 months ago. The guards started caring too much about what might be going on elsewhere in the Quadrant and caring too little about their prisoners. We were able to overpower them. We've managed to recover some data pads like this one, but there isn't enough here for us to call for help or escape. I'm leaving this record in case anyone comes looking for us. Sela. If Lieutenant Yar was supposed to have been executed. My father said it happened. There were witnesses. How can... Clearly, there was some judicious alteration of history. The Enterprise C survivors were here, but something drove them away. Something more than the loss of supplies. We should continue looking for the survivors. Your duplicate of Tanae may yet be alive on this rock.
Look! There's a path ahead! This anomaly looks more stable than the others. It's probably less deadly, but let's not find out now.
The generators died and no one knows why. Richard thinks it might have been the big predators. Tanae thinks she might be able to salvage some of the parts. I hope she can. She's been glaring over the remains for the last 3 hours. 2 more dead. We can't stay here. The animals know the fence won't harm them anymore. I rigged an early warning system using a trick I learned growing up on Turkana 4, but that won't stop them. We took a vote, and we're moving. We'll build a new settlement in the old secondary supply bunker the Tal Shiar abandoned 20 years ago. The surviving guard has agreed to guide us there. Loyalty to the Tal Shiar fades when you've been stranded with the inmates. Lieutenant Yar never discussed Turkana 4. When I was older, I discovered why. She was a survivor. It is clear that her arrangement with my father was just that. Obviously, she continued that trait into her existence here. There's more ground to cover.
There's another unstable anomaly. The anomaly has left some of the rock in a molten state.
You took readings in orbit. Clearly, surely we should continue looking at your mission. Now, while you take a leisurely stroll through the jungle, I will be moving on. It appears that there are more survivors than initially believed.
There's a lot of interference, but I think I'm picking up a life sign. Tanae!
Go away! Leave this place! No! Please, not again! Stay away! Stay away!
It seems your duplicate, Tanae, is still alive, and she isn't pleased to see you. I don't really blame her. I wasn't exactly thrilled to see you again, either.
She's run off, but there's an even larger anomaly close by. Another temporal anomaly, and this one is larger than the last. There are temporal eddies moving through the area and a few stable locations between them. Now, if you establish temporal stabilizers in these 3 locations, we can disperse the anomaly and get a better look at the area. Hopefully, the Enterprise C survivors were able to escape the area before this happened. There's a stable pocket ahead of you. Set up the first stabilizer there. That's the first stabilizer. 2 more to go.
It looks like it was a structure at one point, but I doubt any survivors would remain in a ruin like this.
Incredible! Dispersing the anomaly restored more than I expected. We should look for clues.
Found an entire grove of saplings. Richard swears the same area was full of towering trees last week. He might be mistaken. We're both getting older. I thought I saw a Romulan in the brush. He was wearing a 22nd century style uniform. When I looked again, he was gone. Maybe I'm going senile. Richard insists I'm too young. Maybe it's because the outside world has been on my mind. Sela has been on my mind. I wonder what happened to her. While her father was a Tal Shiar general, he spared my life in the end. Perhaps he wasn't petty and cruel to her. I hope he wasn't. If you should find this, happy 50th birthday, Sela. I have missed you. I only regret. Shelter ruined, last tricorder gone, half our stores destroyed, 5 dead. The hunters and gatherers returned to find many dead and unconscious. I used my emergency medic training, but I was a security officer, not a doctor. Devek, none of them can remember what happened. Without the tricorder, we can't scan the area, or for internal injuries. I suspect that there is something on the planet causing anomalies of some kind. Danae has not reacted well. She's been talking to herself and keeping apart from everyone. A problem for later. Survival now.
Some sort of temporal inversion happened here. Some of the rock returned to an earlier molten state, while some of the building materials aged over 200 years. Anyone standing close to these objects would have been affected as well, regressed to infancy, or aged to the grave.
Well, I suppose it was nice that Yar thought of me. But that doesn't change the fact that she was going to steal me away like a thief in the night. If she had truly cared, she would have stayed where she was. My father was not cruel or petty, at least not to me. He was hard because he needed to be. I thrived because of it. The Enterprise C survivors were surprisingly resilient. Tasha's notes are more sparse but seem to record a productive, if primitive, community. They mention a secondary site close by. If your Vulcan survived, there may be others, and they may be close.
Over here! There's a path with recent footprints. I'm reading another anomaly, further down the path. Tanae might be there.
The Tanae anomaly and its allies must be purged.
That Tholian away team must have beamed down to investigate the anomalies. This looks to be a well-worn path. Some recent footprints here, heading the other way. They might have run into Tholians.
It seems your Vulcan passed this way recently. Perhaps the cavern mentioned in Natasha's logs is nearby. We should follow the tracks. It seems many of the refugees would be alive if it weren't for the anomalies. I wonder how many are left now.
I'm detecting signs of recent habitation in this location.
Maybe we'll find more answers.
This was some sort of dwelling up until a few months ago. If I'm reading this right, there was an explosion of tetrion particles here. A fatal one, judging by the organic residue on the walls. No one's been living here since, according to these tricorder readings.
The anomalies are temporal in origin. I watched Richard wither and die before my eyes. An anomaly appeared, and moments later he aged 100 years. We buried him this morning in the clearing. I never expected he and I would end this way. I miss him. Richard was a wonderful partner for these last decades, a good man. We built a wonderful life, despite it all. My only regret is that Sela never got to know how kind and brave Richard was. He'd have been such a wonderful stepfather. Danae hasn't been seen in days. I'm worried she won't come back. I'm worried she will. I thought her strange behavior might be a degenerative Vulcan sickness, but she was answering questions before they were asked, and she's been close to every anomaly that's happened. Maybe I'm jumping in shadows.
This is Danae. I have agreed to report the final words of Natasha Yar and to hold this log for the future. If there is one, if it isn't here already, Natasha Yar died of a fever. She wished for the story of the crew of the Enterprise C to be remembered. They were brave beyond expectation. She wished for her daughter to know that she was loved and that Natasha lived a long and happy life. But Natasha missed her, and she hoped her daughter's life was wonderful. Do not come near
I think I see movement in the bushes.
End.
Danae?
Stop following me! No, go away! I am dangerous. You should not be here. No, not again!
There's a new anomaly forming.
Tholians!
Purge the anomaly. Purge the contaminated.
Tanae, the anomalies that have been occurring were caused by decades of temporal interference. Because of what happened with the Enterprise C, you exist in two places at once. We can fix this. You and your counterpart can be reintegrated. Your memories will be integrated as well, but the anomalies will stop.
I see the logic in your presence here. I am anomalous. My presence here must be sufficiently reconciled to preserve the order of things. I presume you are here to accomplish this. Thus, I will go with you.
All this time, she was here. I believed she was dead. Tasha believed I might come looking for her. She believed it so strongly she left logs in case. Danae held her logs for her. And now, she is truly dead. This place has led to some interesting revelations, shall we say? I think it best we leave before more Tholians show up.
Looks like we beamed up just in time. Several Tholian ships are on an attack vector.
Something is happening. It's happening again. Another anomaly is forming. I see you found my displaced temporal counterpart. Well done. An operations team is standing by on this vessel to assist with her temporal reintegration. Please beam her aboard, and we will begin the process. It is possible that I may acquire a new set of memories as part of the process. A small price to pay to stabilize the timeline. As it has been said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one. I see. Having read the briefing from Starfleet Command, I find her presence here to be most logical, considering the situation. Very well. I will take custody of Sela and deliver her to a secure facility once the reintegration procedure is complete.
It seems our journey is at a parting of the ways once more. I did, and I will. But I have a condition to... Tell me about my mother.
The timeline is stabilizing. Anomaly counts are dropping, and our agents are reporting a decline in temporal aftershocks due to recent events. That's a good thing, by the way. The aftershocks of our recent discoveries on Pictet may take some time for Sela to resolve, however. I hope she's able to find us.
With the war over, it's time for us to rebuild, to take stock of our situation, and to return to our roots as explorers. We've recently noticed that a star in an unexplored system near Ferenginar has become unstable. There's nothing to indicate any change to its stellar life cycle, so this is a perfect opportunity for us to chart the system, investigate the star, and improve our understanding of what's happening. I want you to head up this investigation. Find out why this star is suddenly dying, and make sure it isn't going to be a threat to any nearby worlds or systems.
Thank you for the pickup. I'm Tenora Zuval. Let's get started. My preliminary observations show some kind of unknown stellar problem. This unexplored system near Ferenginar is undergoing solar death. Basically, it's as if the star is going out somewhere, but there's no good reason why. We need to get close enough to take some readings and see what we can figure out. Getting swamped with solar radiation. Try reducing the gain on your sensors. Initial results don't make any sense. The star's core reactions are failing, but it still has so much mass that it should be conducting fusion. It's as if it suddenly decided that it was no longer going to do hydrogen fusion. Just this kind of matter is ejected during corona events. We should be able to collect some with your ship's ram scopes if we head to one of the ejection zones. Results are coming in now. This still isn't making any sense. It's as if the star's life cycle was suddenly accelerated somehow, but it never went through an expansion cycle. There's no good explanation for this yet. Maybe if this is system-wide, we should find evidence of similar problems with nuclear and chemical reactions in the system's gaseous. This is very strange. Usually nebulae are massive clouds between star systems. Finding a micronebula in system like this is quite rare. This may be the result of an event such as a cosmic stream, shearing through a gas giant and turning it back into particulate matter. I'll need some more readings to know for certain. All the particulate matter will make your ship's sensors unreliable beyond a few kilometers, and shields will be offline. The best we'll be able to do is to check small areas until we get close to something unusual. We should head to where the deionized particle density is highest. Data is coming in now.
Greetings, unknown vessel. This is Administrator Kumar K. Please provide identification. Welcome to Lukari. Visitors here are rare, but we're always gratified by the chance to meet and exchange information with travelers. I regret that you have arrived at a difficult time. You may have noticed that our home star has become unstable. I'm leading a project to try to reignite the star. Unfortunately, we've already suffered severe disruptions, and we have a lot of problems to tackle right now. These problems started only recently, just a few days ago. Our astronomers noted a significant shift in the star's output, and now it looks like it's guttering and dying. If we can't solve this problem, it's the end of our species. We have a solar probe ready that contains the booster module that needs to be fired into the star. It's capable of Warp 2. There's a problem, though. The probe's remote navigation systems don't work. All of the interference from the solar flaring and guttering is blocking the signal. Could your ship get a trajectory plot so that we could set a pre-programmed course? We're getting your telemetry now. I'll have my engineers prepare the probe. Let's see if this works. Nothing to worry about, just the future of my planet. The probe's made it out of orbit. Engaging secondary boosters to head out of planetary range. It's gone to warp. The probe is arriving at the solar corona. Deploying chromodynamic booster. No effect. It didn't work. Repeat. Well, it didn't work. That was our one shot. Thank you for trying to help. I'm not sure what to try next. Maybe we can evacuate a few people. I'm not going to give up. But the situation is grim. If your people can offer any other help, we would welcome it. But I just don't see a way to relocate 8 billion people in the next few hours.
My name is Cal Dano. Looks like I've arrived at the perfect time. I'm here to help with the problem with this star. I'm a scientist, and I have some specialized knowledge that can help.
With apologies for the interruption, this is my home star. My people are the ones at risk here. If you have some way to reverse this process, my people should be involved. All right, I'm willing to do so, but it will take me a little while to get a shuttle out there. As you might imagine, things are a little hectic over here right now.
You won't be able to get a lock on my ship interior due to the subspace manifolds. I'll go ahead and bring you aboard. Welcome aboard. I'm Cal Dano.
You moved me here without crossing the intervening space. You have quantum teleportation technology.
Yes. We call it a transporter. It has a limited range, but it's useful for going from surface to ship.
Impossible! This ship's interior is massive, even though it's no bigger than a shuttle.
My ship uses compactified subspace folds. It's bigger on the inside.
This is all quite overwhelming. This Caldano person is another stranger from somewhere else. And you're here to help with our dying star? Oh. Yes, I suppose I can see how a star suddenly dying might attract someone's attention. It's an odd coincidence. We'd probably never have met if it weren't for the trouble with the star. My people have never really had any desire to go exploring out there. We've sent a few probes and met a couple of neighbors, but we're happy at home, and we have what we need, so why risk it? I guess it sounds like you have a lot of experience in meeting other kinds of people. Maybe if we survive this, we can take the chance and learn more about each other. To talk about what we might have in common and What can I do to help? My home is at risk. I want to do something. To be involved in solving this problem.
Welcome to my ship. Don't be alarmed. This vessel is from the 31st century, and it has some technology you may not recognize yet. Correct. I'm associated with the Temporal Division of... well, let's just say that I'm an ally from the future, and I'm here to save the Lucari star. No, I'm trying to prevent changes. Someone's tampered with this star. It's not supposed to die out here. The Lucari don't disappear today, at least not if we have any say in it. I have some technology that can help, but we'll need to rework it in order to repair the star's fuel.
I'll regulate the device's main power state from this console.
Sounds like whoever tried to destabilize the Lucari star has decided to come knocking. Let's see who... They're packing a real wallop! Shields just went down!
What are those things?
Police! Keep them away! I need to finish these computations! I have the device shielded in a force field, but I can't deploy it until these Tholians are out of the way. Shields are back up! They shouldn't be able to get any more boarding parties over.
We've got a breather. Now I just have to charge the device and prepare it for use. In just a few minutes, it'll propagate a quantum wave shift that should correct. The device is charging. We should be just a few minutes away from repairing the star now.
Give us the talks, mutant.
What my quantum phase inhibitor?
You will surrender the talks you've had, or you will be destroyed. Obviously, and with the pattern. No more time. Rejuvenate the star.
and it's returning to normal.
Some of those ships have just arrived at our home system. They're attacking our homeworld. We don't have any way to repel starships like this. Please, help us. Please, you have to stop them. We don't have any warships or space weapons.
the save, but the Tholians managed to steal the toxin pod while they had my ship. That must have been their plan all along. My data suggests that the Tholians used a trilithium warhead to destabilize the star. But the amount of resources needed to build such a weapon makes it inefficient, to say the least. Now, I suspect that somehow they knew that I'd come here to save this star, and that I would bring the Tox Utat. Fortunately, the Lukari star is safe. However, nobody else will be as long as the Tholians have that device. They could use it to snuff out or destabilize stars anywhere they want.
Warning, ship is under attack.
I have some thoughts on that, but I will need to do some calculations. These events and the Tox Utat itself are tied up in the temporal cold loop. The Tholians may not care. By using the Tox Utat, they risk distorting the timeline by wiping out civilizations that are supposed to survive into the future, such as the Lukari.
Caldano is correct. You have preserved our future. My people will be forever grateful, not to mention my personal gratitude, of course. I think we have a bright future ahead of us, if you'll forgive my play on words. I wish I could ask you about your science, your trade, your society. But I suppose there will be time for all of that now that our crisis has been averted. Won't there?
I think our friend the administrator here is going to need a ride home. Would you mind? If you'll pick her up and take her home, I'll start looking for more data about the Tholians' plans.
I have collected an amazing amount of information about what happened to this star. Thank you for bringing me along. Once we're back in Allied space, I'll take a shuttle home.
A first contact is a significant event for the Federation. We will be glad to open a dialogue with the Lukari people. Unfortunately, the loss of the Tox Utat is troubling. We have some reports about this device from when Jean-Luc Picard encountered it on Ryza in 2366. And obviously, we can't let the Tholians keep a piece of future technology that can destabilize stars. We'll have to deal with that later. The Tox Utat has fallen into the hands of the Tholians. Our intelligence indicates increased Tholian activity in the Nakul system. Caldano believes they are trying to interfere with the Nakul in the present because of actions they will take in the future. Caldano has asked you to rendezvous with him in the Nakul system.